Hi, it's State Representative Jim Walsh here for our weekly legislative update. I'm here under the dome at the state capitol in Olympia, and we are right now in the middle of the big march, in early March, toward the House of Origin cutoff date. This is the period about halfway through the legislative session where we are on the floor from the morning to the evening, long days, debating and voting on bills. By next week, by Wednesday of next week, all bills have to be out of their chamber of origin, whether it's the state house, where I serve, or the state senate, and through the floor debates and floor votes. It is a very intense period of time. We are on the floor debating and voting for 12, 15, sometimes 18 hours a day. This is the time of the session where we often will go through the night into the next morning. This is the sort of boot camp. Now, it's the halfway mark on the session. A similar mad rush happens at the end of the session. But right now, we're dealing with the most controversial bills and the most controversial proposals. Just in the past few days, we've dealt with a very controversial covenant housing bill. We are dealing with some family law reform bills, highly controversial. We're dealing with some gun rights bills, highly controversial. And perhaps the most controversial is we're dealing with the efforts to overturn the Washington State Parents' Bill of Rights. That may be the all-nighter. That may be the longest and most intense debate. While all this is going on, the sort of shadow is hanging over the process of the budget negotiations. Those operate kind of on a parallel track. And as remember, there are three budgets at the state government: operating, the biggest budget, transportation, and capital, sometimes called capital construction. The main controversies right now are around the big one, the operating budget. That's where you've heard this talk of projected deficits. Those negotiations, those votes, operate on a separate track, a parallel track, and will come to a head at the end of the session in late April, where the final votes will be taken on the budgets. All of this stuff interplays, interchanges, interacts, and there is a great deal of tension. This is the time of the session where you're likely to see blooper reels. Someone will say something ill-advised, intemperate on the floor of the state house or the state senate. And so there's a lot of emotions, a lot of reasons, and all those come to a head in these long days of pure policy debate and large budget negotiations. The major issues are the same as we've discussed from the start this session. Those budget issues are going to really take a lot of the bandwidth and tension of the legislature. In the meantime, the key issues, which are public safety, that is fighting crime, parents' rights, and to some degree, family law and a general approach in who do we value in our public policy, perpetrators of wrongdoing or victims of wrongdoing. These issues are all going on that track separately. We need to restore safe neighborhoods, improve the performance of our schools, and make some kind of rational reform to our state taxes, which includes property taxes, the point at which many people are breaking right now all around Washington State. So the big issues remain the same, but the local tensions and the local debates and passions run to the specific calendar of the session. We're at about the halfway point now, and we'll come to a full head at the end of April. That's it for now. I'll update you again soon, but in the meantime, be well and stay strong.